As AI continues to advance and shape our modern landscape, its impact on the world is profound. In today's Monday Minutes episode, you'll learn how AI is transforming the cybersecurity arms race. I'm Andrew Philp, and today we have an incredibly insightful discussion lined up. Returning back, we have our very own David Chow, and we welcome our special guest, Tony Tan, an esteemed CEO of Imperium, author, keynote speaker, and futurist, who is going to provide a visionary perspective of AI. Let's dive into this fascinating topic. Over to you, David.
Thank you, Andrew. So today we have Tony Tan with us. Tony is the CEO for Imperium, and Tony is also an author of this book discussing quite a bit about the future of technology, how that impacts cybersecurity. So Tony, can you spend a few minutes just introduce yourself real quick?
Thank you, David, for having me today. My name is Tony Tan. I'm the CEO of Imperium and Optimus AI. I'm also an author, keynote speaker, and a host of the Tony Tan Show and podcast. Welcome to our session today.
Yeah, a lot of experience, a lot of great experience. And Tony has been a great partner with Trend Micro as well. I really appreciate you having just being on here with us today, Tony. So I'm going to dive into the question very quickly. Today we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So Tony, draw upon your experience, could you share some insights related to how AI is changing the industry of cybersecurity? Is it possible that you can give us some examples that how AI is changing the realm of cybersecurity?
Yeah, I think, David, that's a very good question. I think we'll answer in two phases. The first phase is that I think one thing that AI does very well traditionally for us is the ability to cope at speed, at scale, and that's not something that humans do very, very well. And if you look at today's cybersecurity landscape, there's two big things here. Firstly, I think it's a lot more complex than before, and it's going to get more complex. And secondly, the surface area is getting broader and broader. So definitely we will need AI to augment our cybersecurity responders today, right? So this trend is not new, but this is increasing, and AI is going to play a bigger role for us today. And then the other thing that everyone is talking about, how is generative AI going to play a role in cybersecurity? And I think that there is a direct and indirect role that generative AI will also augment the traditional AI as we know it to change the entire cybersecurity landscape today.
Yeah. Do you have some examples that you can share, like some specific use cases?
Yes. I think today a large part of these attacks we know is phishing, is a lot of social engineering. So when you look at the attack vectors today, we know that email is still going to be one of the biggest attack vectors. And you look at email compromises today in terms of changing of names within the company, supply chain related attacks. These are attacks extremely hard to pick up with our traditional security tools without looking at user behavior analytics to really triangulate and give us more context to such attacks that's happening. So when you look at behavior analytics, you'll find that AI will play a big part in understanding the profile, the context, and the way these email structures are played. So I think in that context, AI has a very big play in it. And if you look at the latest generation EDRs and NDRs, for example, they are seeing a lot more AI being harnessed, right, to look at these attack patterns to reduce the false positive for the security responders to make them more effective as well. So in the area of phishing attacks, I think with generative AI, the ability to create volume, create quality of attacks combined with social engineering become extremely disruptive for all of us today, right? So that plays a very significant role in the propagation of attacks for us now. Is a clear and present danger for all of us.
Yeah, you talk about dangers as well as guardrails, right? So leading up to the next question, which is related to, as enterprises starting to adopt AI, what do they need to start focusing on in terms of protecting their own information, privacy data, ensuring that there's proper, safe, and responsive use on the artificial intelligence?
That's a very good question. I think first of all, it has to come from a management-driven perspective as well. I think they need to really understand what is their direction for AI. And I think today, because AI is not really regulated, and I don't think it'll be regulated for some time to come, I think that the ethics of using AI is very important. The ethics have to come from within, right? What is the ethics framework? How do you want to use AI? and to what use cases they want to use. So that was important, right? But I do think that although regulations are not around, but then you look at certain governments, they are proactive on AI adoption. And you look at Singapore, they have came out with a explainable AI framework, ethical AI framework to help the SMEs and the enterprises to adopt, to check their data structure, to check their direction, to ensure that we put some guardrails around this data, around how we use AI and the thought process behind it, right? So I think that's important from an AI adoption point of view. And also the education of AI is important, because with that education, we are then able to understand and invest in the right AI technologies so that we are able to protect ourselves. So not only are we using it for greater good, for the growth of the company, but you cannot have this conversation without protecting ourselves from this advanced AI-based attacks that's coming our way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually related to what you talked about in your book, The Future is in the Present. You actually mentioned quite about of impact of AI. So how do you see that AI in reshaping the field of cybersecurity in the coming years? And what are some of the ways that the CISO needs to be careful of, or perhaps that they need to start adopting to ensure that they're leveraging AI properly?
So David, that is the $1 million question here, right? I think this is like, we have this thing called the prisoner dilemma. I think there is no way that we can stop this genie from growing. It is already out of the bottle. And there is no way we can 100% regulate this, because unless we have a global framework in place. So basically what we are seeing is the AI cybersecurity arms race, right? And it is going to be there for as long as we are alive. And the good AI and the bad AI is going to outpace each other, right? There's no questions about it. Both sides are going to employ the same technologies. And there is this conversation about ChatGPT that's really interesting. And people say that, at first when ChatGPT was launched, can we created malicious codes based on ChatGPT, right? And then what we've seen the last couple of weeks, OpenAI has created a lot of guardrails around that. You are not able to, ask for a malicious code for ChatGPT. So you think that, all right, guys, you know what? Maybe it's not as bad, right? Because now we can use ChatGPT for good, right? We can harness it and ask for the right questions and how to protect our organization and so forth. But then the question is there a possibility of a ChatGPT-based technology that's growing in the dark web? And I think it's going to happen, right? So we're going to have a good ChatGPT and we're going to have a bad ChatGPT, right? And the proliferation of these malicious codes, there will be no guardrails in that realm, right? And I don't think that's too far away. So again, David, between us, partners, the vendors like Trend Micro and the government, we all have a responsibility to work together from a technology and from a regulation point of view, and work towards to regulate this technology, to control this technology, and every company will have to put in their own ethics involved. So it's multidisciplinary approach, right? It's not just one body, it's multiple bodies, and there's a lot of education that has to go out, and people have to be educated about the dangers of cybersecurity, the dangers of AI. And when all this comes together, we got a better chance to maybe control this genie. It's going to be a lot of work, it's going to be group work.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you brought up a lot of good points, a lot of nuggets for us to really learn about artificial intelligence as well as the impact. So I do have a personal question related to the AI. So you know how Hollywood is portraying AI as something like Terminators, right? So AI is going to take over the world. I mean, as a futurist, what do you think of it? I mean, what is your personal perspective?
Yes. So I love this question, David. Thanks for asking, right? So this is my take. AI is a tool to augment humanity, just like any tools in the past. We are the masters of technology. AI is a good servant, but a bad master, right? So at the end of the day, if we look at it as an augmented technology, then we will say that if you use it, if you look at it from a destructive point of view, right? The militaries are going to use it, because the doctrine of the military is to win a war with the least casualties. The best technology is AI. So they're very good in killing people, for sure. They're going to be better, more efficient, and less manpower intensive, right? And this will grow, right? But we need to understand it is still a tool. We are harnessing this tool to do the right thing, because our doctrine for military is to win. So in that sense, AI has fulfilled its potential. But will one day AI wake up, become conscious, have its own mind, and there's this talk about AI creating AI, there's so much of this hype going on. You see, David, at the end of the day, the problem is this. AI is a misnomer, right? The word artificial intelligence, everybody has wild imagination because of that. But if we phrase this word AI, what actually it is in the truth, if we are not marketing it, it's called machine intelligence. If we call it machine intelligence, you and I won't have this conversation in the first place because we know it's a machine, right? But when we talk about artificial intelligence, oh man, my imagination is going to run wild, right? And Hollywood is not helping. So I think all together, you and me, we got an important task to educate a man on the street, because if you look at the statistics that split out people, the first 32% has great fear of AI adoption. The other 32% on the other end is too optimistic about AI. So we have to work together, align them, educate them, so we can harness this as a tool to do what it's really supposed to do, which is here to augment humanity.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you share some amazing thoughts, and really, they're very thought-provoking. And we're so honored to have you to be with us, and really appreciate spending a few minutes and sharing all your ideas with us about artificial intelligence as well as cybersecurity. So thank you.
Wow, thank you, David and Tony. That was a fantastic and thought-provoking conversation. As AI continues to evolve, it's essential for CISOs and organizations to remain vigilant, adopt safeguards, and foster collaboration to navigate this ever-changing landscape. AI is a tool that should augment humanity, and at Trend Micro, we're excited to share the release of Companion, a generative AI assistant for the Trend Vision One platform. Companion is revolutionizing the day-to-day workflows and providing immediate benefits to burnt-out security teams. To learn more about this exciting release, click the link below. That concludes our discussion for today, folks. See you back in a fortnight, and until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the AI revolution.